everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got more agates to cut today. Alright, again, these are Arizona agates from just outside of Phoenix in the Gila Bend Mountain Range area. So let's walk through these. Some of these have windows, some of them don't. So we'll start with this one. Nice looking round nodule. It is peeling. Some of the husk right here is coming off. Looks like it's got a fracture line. Don't know if that was from the bubble or if it's an actual fracture. But if I can, I'll cut it on the other side of that, parallel to it. That'll keep us out of this and hopefully off of that. All right, next up, another bubble nodule. Kind of flat. This one does have a window, and it is showing some banding. Looks like it's got a little bit of quartz and some moss or something. Should be interesting. Alright, this one's got a window as well. Alright, it's pretty weathered, but it looks like it's banded agate. We'll cut parallel to that. And again, this one I didn't say, but I'll cut it probably. Yeah, I might actually come underneath of that little window as well. It's like right there. And then this one parallel to this, I'll cut it through here. Alright, probably the smallest nodule of this bunch. Nice looking nodule, does have a window. Showing some banding right there. Looks like some possible good color. So I will go parallel to that, kind of at an angle, just like that is. Alright, this one's just a little bit bigger than that last one. It's got a little window back here, showing color. So I'll probably just cut this one right down the middle, in between those two windows. I'm hoping that's just a ridge from the bubble and not a fracture. Alright, then we've got these three big ones. So let's walk through those and see if any of them look good. Okay. Alright, so what am I seeing? I'm seeing two different materials here. I can see your typical banded agate nodule on the back side here. You can see a little bit of banding in it, or at least some agate. Could be some tubes or something in there, a little bit of quartz right there. And then it turns into something else. Looks like it's just going to be a possible rhyolite or something. I don't know. Oh man, so I want to cut into this agate section, that's for sure. But it doesn't look like it goes that deep. I don't know. Well, it's a shame there's a window there. Alright, I'm probably just going to cut it long ways. We will go through that window. Maybe I'll clip it on this side where the quartz is. Alright, let's look at the other two. Alright, so this one looks like it was a seam agate. You got some windows on that ridge on this side. You got a window on that end and another window on that end. Some more windows on that ridge. So I'm looking at the two big windows. I'm going to cut in between them. I will have to go through these little ridge windows. So yeah, we'll just cut it down the middle, split the difference. Hope for a good pattern, no fractures. All right, last up. All right, what am I seeing here? It's a decent sized nodule. It's got your normal agate looking husk up here. That window doesn't show a whole lot. There does seem to be a fracture going right down the middle. I don't really see it on that side, but I do see a fracture running that way. Huh. I don't think there's any getting around having a fracture in this one if those are deeper than just surface fractures. So we'll just cut it, try to cut it right down that fracture line. See what's in it. Yeah, and I'm looking at the material and it looks like, again, it's possibly two different kinds of material. Maybe some agate or something up here in that section, but it looks like something else in the rest of it. All right, so it looks like the little ones are probably our best bet today other than this one. This one might be really good if there's no fractures. So let me go get these on the saw, get them cut, and I'll be right back with the results. All right, everybody, I am back from the saw. I gotta say, pretty good results today. I'm gonna start with this one. This one actually was a surprise, but unfortunately it did break. So, you know, I had my choice. And that fracture happened to be pretty bad. So it's snapped on that side, but not this side. So let's take a look. So originally I said I thought this wasn't gonna be an agate, it'd be something else. It looked like agate skin here, but something else there. But look at that, that is a solid banded agate, just with a lot of really bad fractures. That's a shame. That would have been a really nice looking stone. All right, and then this side, it did hold together, but I bet if I tried, I could probably snap it. Now I can tell, I just cut up against that fracture there. You can tell that would have been bad too. So that was a no-win. Oh well. Mother Nature reclaimed that one. Okay, next up is the other one that I said looked like it had some banded agate up in this section and something else in here. So, without further ado, yeah, that was pretty much correct. Some other kind of rhyolite or something. Pretty, looks like it'd take a nice polish. It does have some pits in it. It does have some sections of banded agate, and of course that little bit of banded agate at the top. All right, but you never know; those could surprise you. Okay, so this one looked like it had some nice banded agate here. Cut it back through the thicker spot, and okay, not what I was expecting. It does have some banded agate, and then quartz, and then banded agate, and then quartz again. Got a little bit of host or something down here causing a little bit of moss action. That actually looks pretty neat. A nice polished stone. One little fracture on that end, you can see it there. That fracture actually goes in. So if I look closer, it was banded agate, but I can see it where there is some quartz. Didn't know it was going to open up like that. All right, that's still a nice looking stone. Definitely worthy of polishing at some point. All right. Okay, so this one had a little window and a little window. cut in between, and very cool looking. All right, got a lot going on there. Did chip a little around that edge. Maybe there was a fracture or something running sideways. Could probably polish that out. Other than that, pretty flawless. Banded agate with 2 patterns and then some funky stuff going on the bottom. That is really cool. Wow, and this side's even neater looking. It's got some really interesting things going on in the banding. Healed fracture right there. You can see it on the surface. Doesn't go all the way through, and it looks like it's healed down in the stone. All right, maybe another good one to polish. Not bad. All right, next up, so we had that showing. Did chip out a little right there at the end, unfortunate. But I can fix that. Oh, wow. Start with this side where it chipped. So I am gonna polish this one because look at the banding, the shadow banding or the parallax effect is really cool. Very tight bands in that. And it didn't chip that deep. So if I put a slight dome on this, that is flawless. No fractures, perfect pattern, killer banding, white and clear. And then this side, it's got that darker center. It's even nicer. Wow, definitely gonna have to polish this one up. Very cool. Okay, so this is the one that had that pattern showing. I wanted to cut parallel to it. Again, I was hoping it'd be a little thicker on that end, but it's still not bad. My parallel cut just didn't work quite the way I was hoping. Oh, all right, look at that pattern and color. So this is the thin side, a little piece missing there. A little bit of paint from the saw blade. Great pattern though. That'll be a good one to probably, well, I think it's thick enough I could still put a slight dome on that, clean that edge up. That's gonna look nice polished, and this side's even nicer. It's thicker. Wow, look at that. That is perfect. Very cool. Love the colors in that one. All right, next up. Yeah, so again, I have no idea why. I wanted to be a little further that way. So I ended up getting some chipping here because I got really close to that ridge, and that's what I was trying to stay away from. Almost cut right down the middle of it. That's a shame. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, nice. Okay, so that ridge kind of did have a fracture in it, and pieces of that did break off, but other than that, cool pattern, gorgeous colors. Definitely gonna polish that. That's nice. And this side's even a little nicer. Very nice. It's gonna have some stuff pop off on the edge, so if I dome it, even if I dome it, I think I'm still gonna have some pop-offs. We'll see. I will definitely put a slight dome on this to get rid of as much of that as I can. Same as that side. Wow, that is a really, really beautiful stone. Love the colors. Okay, last up. Save this one for last mostly because it's the biggest one. So headbanding on either end, on the ridges. I cut down the middle. And that is super cool. Okay, you can tell it's got host rock in the stone, but even that's gonna polish. It does have some healed fractures, but they're 100% healed. It just kind of adds to it. That is really nice. So that inside pattern's 100% full or complete. Wow, that is a beautiful stone. All right. So that is the last one in this video. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, have a good day, everybody. Bye.